Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Oh shit, I guess I could clink. Hold on a moment. Let's just do a coffee with Rachel situation right now. R.I.P.
Oh my god.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
We're coming for your fucking brand.
Yeah. Rising from the ashes. It's
We're
us.
the queers now, bitch.
Fantastic. I love that. Just
Great.
coming to the podcast hot and super aggressive right at the jump, you know?
It's Aquarius season, you know?
Fuck, you're right. Ugh.
Nothing like a cold and distant start to a podcast.
Yeah, cold and distant, but also just like stewing in anger for no reason.
It's Aquarius season, baby.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's time. We're here.
Hello.
Welcome to Into the Twilight. We are here. We are stealing other people's brands.
Yes.
And we're clinking.
Yes, bitch.
Yes.
Back in this, I feel so much more vulnerable now, but also more at home without a guest.
I agree. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but it does feel weird. It feels slightly more intimate.
Right.
Now.
Interesting.
Which like, that is, it feels so odd to say because this is like the whole thing.
Right.
This is like what we do.
Yeah. This is our shtick.
One would even say, like, this is how we do it.
I suppose one could say that.
It's also very weird to just say that without singing it. But
right, it's a weird phrase. Not in, like, an iambic pentameter sort of flair, you know?
You know how Billy Shakes would say it?
You know, like my man B Shakes. You know, he first wrote "This is how we do it." You're right, that sounds awful in my mouth.
It's weird to say it without doing like a dance move as well. Like,
yeah, you gotta get a little groove in there, you know?
Right, exactly. Welcome to Into the Twilight, where you gotta get a little bit of a groove to it.
Yeah, get into the groove, as Madonna once said.
Oh my god.
Just throwing out all the musical references right now.
Wow. Welcome to the musical episode. Yeah. Finally.
This is a music podcast. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Finally.
Yeah.
The most qualified.
Yeah, the music section of this podcast has been dormant for, I don't know, about 3 years, but I think it's time to finally bust it out, you know what I mean?
Like all good shows of yore,
yeah,
there's always one musical episode.
Right. It's true. And sometimes they're the best ones. Buffy.
Yep. Cody, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing good. Because our woman, Hayley Williams, is back.
Oh my god. Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
On her own.
I mean, I'm not kidding you.
Doing solo work. Released a song.
It's very good.
Called Simmer. It fucking rips.
It's very powerful.
It's so good. She's just angry. In like a very good, like, mature anger. And it's her just being like, yeah, fuck it. And the video is great. And she's just like running around naked in the woods. I pulled that shit on my TV because I respect cinema.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm a cinephile.
Oh my god.
For Miss Williams.
She deserves it.
She
so
does.
That's fair.
She does. She's so good.
Everything about Hayley Williams makes me feel nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. It just makes me, I'm just so proud, I think.
Yes.
That, like, when I think about my youth, she's there.
Right.
When I think about my adulthood, she's also there.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm very grateful that, like, she has continued throughout my life. And I think she will continue as well. That makes me very happy personally.
We stan a legend.
Yes. I just keep thinking about, like, the Paul Rudd hot ones of just, like, hey. Hey.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us.
Me at my poster of Paramore from 2009 that was on my, like, bedroom wall in high school. Look at us. Who'd have thought we'd be here now?
Yep.
Who'd have thought? Not me. Not me.
Honestly, not me.
No, but I'm glad. I'm glad for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful.
How the fuck are you, my dude?
Well, with every good news is also bad news.
Oh, no.
You know, that is the circle of life.
Yep.
With every rise is fall. You know, it is the balance of forces. And so with such a high that is Haley, you know, with one legend,
right,
you know, comes the fall of another. And so
this is quite a setup, I'll say.
And so it was a shame today when I woke up and found out the bad news that we lost a legend today. And it's hard to think about.
Oh my god.
Because he's been around for generations. And you know, like when I think about it, and I think about joy, and I think about terror, I think of him, you know? He truly is what I would think of as, like, the spider monkey, you know?
God.
But it's a shame, and I hope that by the time that you all are listening to this, that you have heard, but Mr. Peanut's gone.
I've never been more upset in my entire Like, I knew, the second you started fake crying, I knew that's where you were going with this. And I was just, like, bubbling up anger. Just so immediately. And I just harvested over that for the entire time we were monologuing. That was the worst part of my day today. This whole fucking Twitter shit of people just doing the marketing for fucking Peanuts Corp, whatever, for them. All these fucking unpaid Twitter buccos just, like, hanging out, making
Twitter
goofs.
buccos.
Which is also how I identify. I'm a Twitter bucko.
I also am a Twitter bucko.
However,
honestly.
just doing some free fucking marketing.
Yeah.
For nothing. I was so angry. I was so angry. Why are you upset about Peanuts, Mr. Peanut dying? Please inform me.
It's so chaotic, and something about Mr. Peanut, he looks like Ray Romano to me. A little.
Yeah, no, if you put a monocle on Ray Romano, that's the same guy.
And something about Mr. Peanut dying, I became distinctly aware that, like, Ray Romano will also die. And that, I think, is what made me the most sad today, is that, like, every time that I saw someone being like, Mr. Peanut died, I was like, oh my god. Like, our heroes will die. Like, Ray Romano is gonna die.
I swear to God, I was gonna ask you if you think this is, like, could be, like, a way for kids to, like, come to terms with, like, mortality and shit, but that's just you. You are doing this. This is helping you. This is happening to actual people. People I trust and respect.
I don't like endings. I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh my god. Listen, fuck Mr. Peanut.
I agree.
All billionaires should be dead.
I agree. Like, eat the rich, literally, right?
Yeah, fuck them.
I agree. And I agree completely.
Uh-huh.
Because he was a rich bitch, right? And
Yeah.
I agree. There's something about, like, why was Mr. Peanut asking other people to eat his kind?
Right.
I have
kind of a twisted little bitch.
That's kind of like, that's like on some Christian Grey shit right there. You know what I mean? Like, E.L. James probably got down with the business there. But there's something about going on Twitter right now is just a personal hellfire for me right now that, like, even though this is so capitalist in nature, the idea of it is incredibly chaotic, and I, for a moment, just need something to help me tune out. And that did it for me.
Yeah. Listen, I'm down with the waves of chaos. You know, I'm in it.
And just the idea that, like, there was a whole ad that in theory, like, showed his death was incredibly wild to me.
Yeah.
So,
if they weren't cowards, they'd run that shit. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. And what Chris said is if they weren't cowards, they would just stay in mourning for like a year or forever.
Really,
like, they would never get a new. They'd never get a new Mr. Peanut. They would just always stay in mourning, which I really love.
No, that's good.
So
that's good.
That's what I'm bringing to the space today as my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Is Mr. Peanut's death. AKA, I just don't want Ray Romano to die.
Hey, that's fair, you know?
But we do have some actual relevant current events.
Ooh.
AKA, we just have, like, one current event this week.
Fuck the other ones. This is important.
Cody, you brought this to the space this week, so I'd love for you to be able to do the honors of presenting your show and tell.
Yeah, of course. Hold on 1 minute while I lead you into Case 2 Corner. Welcome back to Case 2 Corner, everyone.
It's back!
It's back. Had to keep you off your tails for a little bit. Gotta, like, ward you off the scent, you know what I mean? Can't always expect it, you know? Gotta get a little mystery in there.
You made me want it.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm just edging you this whole podcast. Anyway, welcome to Case 2 Corner. Mostly Case 2 fucking rom-com news, baby.
Case 2 and the Queer Sack Lunch Bunch.
Thank you. We've been on this beat for, I don't know, like 2 years maybe now at this point. Because we thought it was going to come out like end of 2018. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. It'll be 2019. And then it was end of 2019 and we didn't hear anything for a whole year. But now we're getting a lot of news. Things are moving forward. This is the holiday gay rom-com, happiest season that Case 2 is in, that Clea Duvall is writing and directing. And all this shit. Mackenzie Davis is in it. And they just got some banger fucking casting news.
They wanted to make sure that we were horny for it.
I haven't been hornier for anything more in my life.
In my life.
And
I saw Ocean's 8. Like
Yeah. It is off the chains. Mostly Allison Brie.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza. Are you fucking Dan Levy, whatever. They're all so hot.
Oh my god.
I'm
so upset.
I'm fuming with anger.
I'm so angry.
I want them all to kiss each other in the movie at once.
And yes, I agree.
Thank you.
I've never agreed more with anything you've ever said.
They're all just so beautiful.
It's honestly infuriating, and it makes me so angry.
Yep.
If this was what we were waiting for, then it was worth all the time.
Yes.
It was worth everything.
Yes.
I could not have asked for a better cast of folks. And I'm so excited to see what this final product will be.
Yeah.
Of just the smirks,
all the little like side eyes, all the little just ooh.
Yeah, I'm so incredibly excited to see K-Stu, who's so small.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie Davis, who gives off... I saw someone on Twitter say that Mackenzie Davis gives off strong 6'3" energy, and I could not agree more.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I think Mackenzie Davis is like 5'10", but she does give off very strong, like 6'3" energy.
Yeah,
to
very
me.
Elizabeth Debicki energy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. I will be. This comes out according to The Hollywood Reporter, which has all of this news.
Mm-hmm.
It is supposed to come out this year on November 20th, and I will be in theaters several days before to make sure that the film arrives safely. I'm so excited.
Allie's gonna get
Hollywood.
the prints and just load them, just do some inspection checks, just load them in. She's gonna canvass outside the theaters, just be like, hey, please see this movie.
Yes, I'm so excited that it's supposed to be like a holiday movie that is not like a sad, that is not supposed to be like a sad gay movie, you know, like I'm just excited for what all this is supposed to be.
Oh god. It's gonna be so worth it.
It is. I just want it. I want it right now, even though it's not holiday time.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to this, so I'm very glad that this news dropped. And if it's the only news that we get this week, I'm thankful for it, and I will just be counting down until the next holiday season when we get more information. And I swan to John, if we do not get it this year, I will actually riot.
We will riot in the streets, all of you. We're all going.
Yeah. One, it will be Buck Wild, because this year will be the 4th anniversary of our podcast.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Which is terrifying, because this year will be the next actual election, which is how I keep track of our podcast.
Right, that's how time works in our brains.
That's how time do. And so regardless of how this election goes, I will need something to get my mind off of it. And this movie will be that thing. And so it's just like, please let this movie exist. Like, we need it regardless. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked.
I'm already ready. I'm already at the theater. Like, I'm already
recording
there.
live.
Yep. From underneath the seat of this AMC theater, it's very sticky and dark and also loud.
Yeah.
So, okay. I have a listener email.
Hell yeah.
From one of our new patrons.
Yes.
A Sydney Bennett. Sydney, I don't know. Sydney, hi. I don't know how to say your last name, so I'm sorry.
That's on us. That's on us.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
But also, Sydney, hi. Okay.
Welcome.
Hi, Sydney, welcome. I fucked up your name already. All right, Sydney, I'm going to read your message now. Sydney, actually, you know what? I am going to read your niceties, because you know what? We deserve it. All right. Hi, I love your podcast so much. I binged it all last spring when I was writing my college thesis. What the fuck? It truly helps me through that trying time. I now listen to it at work and actually got all my coworkers obsessed with a podcast as well. Sydney, what the fuck?
She's starting an army, a legion of...
Holy shit. Sydney, a legion. I fell a little behind and am now catching up on your episodes about You, Season 1, and it made me think of a show I think you both might genuinely like if you haven't watched it already. Because You has a character named Blythe, it reminded me that Netflix has a show called Anne with an E that has a character named Gilbert Blythe. Have you watched this show, Cody?
I haven't. I know people that love it, though.
Me too.
Yeah. And people got very upset that it was canceled.
Oh, it got canceled.
It did. Yeah.
We do love a good show that got canceled.
Hey.
Anyway, the show is like the opposite of anything you all have reviewed before. It has examples of healthy relationships, indigenous storylines written by indigenous writers.
Oh my gosh, what a twist.
Good LGBT plus or LGBTQ plus representation, conversations about consent, etc. Whoa, Sydney, hold the brakes.
Oh my gosh.
Pump the brakes. I love listening to your takes on everyone's problematic fave stories and current pop culture, but sometimes you just have to cleanse with a nice, wholesome show, and for me that is Anne with an E.
Oh.
I think you would genuinely enjoy it, and if you ever reviewed it for like a bonus episode for your patrons, I'd be genuinely interested in your thoughts on it. Excited to finally be a patron. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Well, Anne with an E sounds like a show that is too good for us.
Right, we didn't deserve it. That's why God killed it.
Yeah. Netflix smited it down.
Yeah. In such a cruel, sick way.
Stephanie Meyer personally shoved a stake through its
They
heart.
fucking, they torched the Anne with an E, and they're like, you know what, you deserve the circle. Go fetch, here you go. Have your fucking trash pile.
All right. Are you ready to get back into the world of trash?
Back to business, baby.
Back to bitchness.
Oh,
You know?
nice, dude.
How
Hashtag
did
girl
you-
boss. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Hashtag lean in, ladies. Can we?
Can you please kill me now? Let me die.
Yeah.
How many people do you think have gotten a girl boss tattoo?
Stop.
Just like-
Stop. Just that thought. Oh my god. There's. Oh my god. I hate it. I hate it.
Just like on their wrists, you know? Or like their knuckles. Can you imagine the
Oh
knuckles?
my god, girl boss. Okay, that's fucking sick as hell. If it's in like Comic Sans or just like totally fully laced with irony, like I'm so down for that knuckle tat situation. I think that's great.
But not like GIRL, but like girl, like Riot Girl boss.
Girl
Like-
boss.
Oh, that's gonna give me nightmares for a couple of days.
Fantastic.
personally.
Love it.
Anyway,
Back to fucking this show that we
back
talked
to
about.
bitchness.
Yeah.
How many
Content.
TV shows do you think have said that? Okay. Anyways, so the last time that we left off,
Yes.
400
years ago.
a calendar year ago, I think. The last thing that we learned about was that Henderson had a secret like toy room.
Yes.
So Joe had like snatched Henderson's laptop. Sorry, I'm just like so bored with this plot line. And then he had found out that Henderson had a secret room, but he had not been in there yet.
Bum, bum.
So that is where we had left off last time. So now back in the saddle again. But not really, because when this episode starts, we're back into flashback territory with Joseph.
God, it sucks so bad.
Do you not like learning about Joseph and his tortured life growing up?
Right. He was just so sad. He was a sad boy with bad parents.
You don't like learning about his abusive father and how it's inevitably going to end up with tragedy? Because it's so obvious in the foreshadowing.
Right. If only I had someone to tell me why he's like this. If only I had a grayscale, fucking moody ass, out of focus fucking vignette of his past that I can understand this boy better. This killer boy. No, I don't. Fuck. Stop.
Yeah, it's really something.
Yeah.
And I really hate it.
Yeah, I'm not interested at all at coloring the fucking interior of Joe Goldberg.
No, but the coloring of the actual scene is very Twilight, though.
It's bad, is what it is.
It's very gray and blue.
Yeah.
In case you weren't aware that like that's what the past always looks like.
I
in,
didn't
like, the
think
80s.
a flashback could look worse than sepia, but this is somehow worse than that.
It's just so gray.
It's there's, I would say, a surmountable amount of shades of gray.
All right, fuck off.
What?
Fuck off.
What?
Just because I teed you up for that one doesn't mean you had to take it.
But I did.
But you did. All right, so they get back into present time, and it's just Joe staring at Sleepy Love.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're sleeping with your partner, and she has to call her twin brother back because he called several times the night before.
In the middle of them, like, smooching and getting it on. You know what I mean? Just like...
Yeah, when you do.
Like, Love was just, like, seconds away from giving Joe head, and she's like, hold on, one moment. I've just reminded of something I must do.
I'm just so curious what the writers think boundaries are between siblings.
Yeah.
And I personally don't know what they are because I don't have siblings.
Right.
But I know from just general observation that this isn't
and human interaction, you know, just living your life with other people.
Just like life.
Yeah.
That this isn't how it works, and that you certainly, unless in porn, don't talk to your twin brother on the phone while also giving your boyfriend a hand job.
Right.
Because that's not...
What they are setting up here is just like a weird fucking universe in which they are like in love with each other. It doesn't make any sense outside of that. It is so coded as just like 40 is super, you know, doesn't know how to live his life and needs love for all these things or whatever. But like, again, there's no semblance of boundaries, so it's just like, oh, well, yeah, we'll fuck when 40's passed out in the corner of our room or whatever, or we'll, like, I'll be calling him on the phone when we're fucking, basically. Like, that's not how any of this happens in real life. That's not what, I hate it. It's a bad dynamic, and I hate it.
No, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's for sure nasty, straight nasty.
It's those are some boundaries that please don't do that. Actually,
yeah. Hear me out. Don't.
Whereas Joe's like, oh yeah, I get to have sex for the third time in my life. What's up?
Yeah, Joe's like, oh yeah, I get to have sex with Love and 40. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
40 also does love Joe, right? Like,
I think so.
40 loves Joe.
I feel like the only, like, dissenting party in this is Love.
Right. Well, also, Joe hates 40. For sure.
Well.
but 40 loves Joe. He's like, man, let's fucking talk about my screenplay. Let's fucking hang out, dude. Let's just fucking vibe. And yeah, Love definitely doesn't want that to happen.
The Quinn siblings love Joe.
Yes. For some inexplicable reason.
They both love him.
Yeah, gross.
Which, can't relate at all.
Yeah.
We also find a little bit more information about Ellie. Beautiful teenager.
Yeah. Understands
everything about the world. She has unpacked that there is spyware on her phone.
Nice. Got it.
She is onto these adults. AKA, she's onto Joe.
Right.
Which, he's doing his laundry and he's like, aw, fuck. She thinks it's her sister, but it's me. Damn it.
Shit. I'm not good at being a spy.
I am not good at this very obvious application I put on her phone. We also find out that, like, I don't know, there's, like, this fake project that she's doing, but I think we found out last time that she's supposed to be an intern for Henderson.
Yeah, just a 15-year-old intern for, like, a middle-aged comedian.
So gross.
Yeah.
What the hell could she possibly be doing?
Yeah. There's no way she's having fun.
No.
There's nothing appealing about this.
No. I feel like the only thing that she could possibly be doing in, like, reality would just be taking photos of people. Like,
sure, yeah.
People just come up to Henderson and be like, "Hi, can we get a photo?" And she's just forced to be that person.
She's just like slinging merch.
Yes, literally.
Doing tech at the shows.
Yeah, just the most boring shit.
Yeah.
We also find out Henderson is gone. He's in like New Orleans or some shit. And so Chris, what is his actual name? Chris D'Elia. Yeah, thank you. Chris, I don't care what his name is. The actor is like gone. Henderson also gone. Plot twist is because they're the same person.
What?
And so Joe, of course, has decided, because he is gone, he's decided to break into Henderson's house.
Very fun.
Because he needs to find out about the secret toy room. Because sure, right. I don't know.
Like, see, if Joe had any like social cues, he would just like get that a toy room is like a sex room. You know, like he would just get that and be like,
right?
Fair enough. Probably don't have to investigate super closely. Might just be an adult kinky thing. Yeah, but Joe has never met another human being in his life.
He's also, I guess, like not Googled it before. Right? I guess.
Yeah. Which is weird because he's so good at Googling, you know?
Yeah, apparently he's just like such an internet expert that you thought you'd be able to figure this out before. But I guess not.
Yeah, whatever.
And so while he's there, he figures out that in this like 20s home there is actually this secret room, and he finds this like box of Polaroids that Henderson has of underage girls, and they're all like sort of naked, and one of them includes Delilah, which like of course it does, because that was not obvious.
So that's Delilah's entire plot line.
Yeah, because it couldn't be that she was like taking care of her sister, it couldn't be that she was like a writer and a publisher and taking care of his apartments. It had to be that she was like, I don't know. It's very like the whole Me Too movement that we talked about last time.
Right.
And so Joe, instead of leaving them in the house and like calling the fucking cops, decides, oh, here's a good idea. I'm going to just take them to Delilah's house and leave them on her fucking apartment doorstep.
Yeah, that won't scare the fucking shit out of her.
Yeah, and like, what the hell is she going to do with them now that they aren't linked to his apartment? They just have his fingerprints on them.
For someone so supposedly good at crime, which he isn't, but let's, for the argument's sake here, he's pretty bad at crime. He's pretty bad at understanding what makes a crime, and how he like sets up all these little pathways so that people will never trace it back to him. He doesn't think for a goddamn second that taking the photos out of somewhere would totally erase any like link or credibility to a theory. What? We've been through this, Joe. You did this.
I just don't get how he doesn't realize, like, they're, at this point now, they're just photos.
Yeah.
What do you want her to do about it? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't, God. Anyways, yeah, the idea of, like, coming home and looking at your apartment stoop, and now there's just photos of all various stages of like naked women, including you from when you were younger and like kind of sort of remember but were also still drugged up, sounds incredibly traumatizing and terrifying.
Yeah.
And so like she still knows that like cop guy, and she's thinking about calling him, but again, even when she will, like, eventually call him, what the fuck else is this gonna do? Like, there's nothing tying this to him. It doesn't even matter. So, we find out next that, Joe and Love are, of course, still, like, hanging out, and everything's, like, great or whatever.
It's a secret.
Yeah, and they can't tell 40, because everything would be ruined.
Because he would literally lose his goddamn mind.
Yeah. So they're just like sneaking around this place where they actually work together. Even though
all of them.
They're adults. And Joe gets bombarded with a brunch with Love and all of her friends. So they all get to meet, and it, I don't know, seems to go pretty fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, they talk about, like, doctors and, like, vaxxing and stuff, and I don't know. It seemed like
just a fun millennial brunch, you know?
Yeah, just folks being, they seem like, I don't know, borderline, like they don't vaccinate. And some of them don't believe in Western medicine, which I don't know, like that's their choice, I guess.
Right.
Whatever. That makes me personally a little nervous since like they're like serving food and stuff, but like whatever. And it all seems like fine and good and whatever. Then 40 arrives because hi, this is still a piece of entertainment.
Right.
And he throws an absolute fit because he's a child.
Right.
And he's like, it's like so obvious that you and Love are hooking up, and how dare you lie to me? I'm like your best friend, and also we're related, and also Joe, I love you, so like I don't understand.
Right. Help! Stop.
And also I like brunch too, so I don't understand why you didn't invite me. And then he,
Guys, I'm always down to brunch. Okay.
brunch
I just
is
really
life.
left out. I fucking love brunch.
Don't you see my shirt? It says I always love brunch. I don't understand.
I got an avocado toast tattoo, dude, and you were there for that, you know?
Oh my god.
I fucking love brunch. I'll do mimosas all day, baby. We don't work real jobs, mostly.
Jesus.
We're just, like, hanging out in the middle of the day, always.
Don't you see this neon sign above me? It says brunch is life. I don't get it. What about me does not say brunch?
Yeah, I am brunch personified, dude.
And then he spills Joe's orange juice all over him and leaves. So
Yeah,
he's just
which is a
very
power
upset.
move. Yeah.
It is, because orange juice is like very hard to clean up. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is
You're
a
making a
liquid.
statement with that one.
Yeah. So
I do love that immediately after this, it just cuts to Love, like, angrily baking a cake.
it is a mood.
It's really good. She's just so pissed, like, her head's on her hand, and she's just, like, stirring really hard, and she's just like, fuck this. Like, I'm just gonna bake a cake to fucking feel something. Which, like, yeah, you know what? I get it.
Listen, we all do different things to cope with our stress. And stress baking is indeed a mood, so I get it. I understand that.
Yeah.
I am proud of Joe, and I don't say that often, but I am proud of Joe.
Strong words.
For suggesting that the Love and 40 needs some boundaries.
Right.
Because I think that could have and kind of went over poorly.
Right.
And he was like, you know, I understand 40 wants to be included, so like, I get it. Let's try to include him. But, you know, I think that's difficult.
Right. But it's also, like, the same shit with it Beck, too, where it's like, he's not doing it for Love's betterment. He's doing it because he's like, 40's taking up too much of your time, which is supposed to be with me.
Right. I agree.
And I see him as a fucking threat. Because you're fucking all weird doing stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdos. I'm trying to just be in a relationship with you, whatever, and I want to own you, whatever. And this guy's getting in the fucking way. And so it's just like, yeah, let's just, like, peel back a little bit so you can spend all your time with me. And then we'll, like, do a beach day once in a while, you know? We'll crack open a cold one. You, me, and 40. It'll be great.
Yeah, Joe feels incredibly possessive over
Right.
Love's time, which seems somehow entitled to. And it's not that 40 is somehow more entitled to Love's time because like no one is. But 40 is her family, and in Love's eyes, like 40 comes first, which I can understand.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Like it is not surprising in Joe's eyes that he's like, but I love you, so like I don't understand. But it is still annoying nonetheless.
yeah.
Joe being himself, we get another flashback in this of like, I don't know, it's something about like his mom leaving him in the grocery store because she wants to like fuck this dude. I don't know.
Oh my god. What if all the times we were just like young and got lost in the grocery store, that was happening and we just didn't know?
Honestly,
we were dumb kids.
My life would make a lot more sense.
Right? Like, actually, shit would check out a lot more than it is right now.
If that was the case, I should have been able to steal a lot more of those blue gummy sharks from the store as like reparations.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, what I would give for one of those right fucking now.
I could fuck one of those right now. I love those things so much. I haven't had
if I had a gummy shark, I would fuck it.
I haven't had one of those blue gummy sharks since I was like 7, and my mouth is like watering right now. I can distinctly recall the like taste and texture of that right now.
Yeah. It's like the waxiest candy.
Oh my god.
But it's in a really, it's so gross, it's good situation.
Okay, total non sequitur, but it's like the same texture as those like gummy burgers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
Hell yeah, I do.
Shit.
I had a great childhood in terms of burger eating. Gummy burger eating. And that's my only frame of reference for memories.
Oh, man. What I would give for a gummy burger right now.
And you could just, like, build it up, too. Oh, that shit was innovative as hell. Are you kidding me? Fuck.
Who do I have to pay to get a gummy burger in this town?
Will anyone please?
Anyone
please give me a gummy burger?
I'm gonna walk to the nearest dive right now and throw down a 20 and just be like, excuse me, bar wench, please, a gummy burger is all I ask.
Give me all you got. They just hand you a pint of fucking gummies.
Just like a bowl, but rather than bar peanuts, because Mr. Peanut died, it's just gonna be all gummy burgers.
Yeah, you can't really do bar peanuts are kind of, it's too soon, you know, for bar peanuts. It's a little tasteless. So you gotta just like
just in morning right. Instead of bar peanuts
just
now
for
it's
a
just
few
gonna be
weeks,
gummy burgers.
Know? Just till it all blows over, you know?
Yep.
Can't really just
I think that's fair, honestly. I feel like that's the only respectful decision that they can make. And and that, folks, is what you call a tieback.
Yeah, baby. Ooh,
okay.
Best in the biz.
All right, so we've had some stress baking. We had some... Oh, yes, okay. So the weird dream. So Joe wakes up from that, like, weird-ass dream. And he wakes up alone. And it's... and it seems weird to him that he's alone because his apartment is so small. But it's because Love is in the living room cutting her brother's hair at, like, the middle of the night. Which, again, this very sexual experience that's going on there. And, again, also very sexual because when Joe comes out, Forty's like, what's up, old sport? It's like, where am I? Like, what? Very weird experiences here.
Yeah.
Can we talk about... Oh, I guess before we can get to that, we need to talk about the South by experience.
Oh, sure.
Please tell me about the South by before we can get to the Henderson break-in.
So, as part of Joe's little ultimatum with Love, he's like, all right, I'm going to just, like, have some bro time with 40. Because he misses you, but he also misses me, because I'm cool as hell. So we're
And
gonna
he's
hang
in
out.
love with me.
And he's so obsessed with me. It's super chill. Anyway, I'm gonna help him with his screenplay. And there's nothing in this world that Joe wants to do less
Yep.
than work on 40's screenplay. And so they workshop it together. It's the worst thing he's ever seen in his life. And even he was like, this is a very unfeminist, in his little internal monologue. He's like, this is a very unfeminist horror film, because like 40 is like, they all die, all the women die at the end, obviously. That's a great twist. That's cinema, baby. And it's like, what the fuck? Are we doing the feminism card now, Joe? Are we supposed to pretend like you're a woke king? What?
I guess.
Go off, sis. Okay.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway, he's like, God, get me out of here. And 40's like, let's fucking go all night long, baby. I got shit just flying off the dome.
Ugh, God.
Meanwhile, Joe's like, all right, hear me out. This is perfect. You should take a red eye right now and leave and go bitch it to someone. Really make your move on him, you know? You've been sitting on this idea for what, a week? Too long. Go. You gotta go. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. You can't work on this. You can't edit this. Fucking get out of here. Come on.
I love it.
And then he does.
He just goes to South by.
Because he loves Joe so much.
I love that.
Oh, God.
I just love the idea that he's like, you know what, actually? I do need to go to South by. Thank you so much, Joseph. I am.
You're right. Of course.
And so, of course, like, right before he goes to Henderson's, he goes to get a quick pep talk from Will, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go. He got all these photos were there. The only thing I can possibly do is go to Henderson's and tell him, like, you're a bad man, and I'm the only one that's going to be able to...
bad boy.
And the only person that's going to save this is me. But the last possible thing that he can do before he goes to Henderson's is he runs into Love, who tells him, hey, fuck you. I can't see you right now because I have to go to South by to chase my brother because you told him that he needs to go to South by and I can't possibly let him go alone because it's a disaster and like a temptress for his sobriety. So I have to go too. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Love that.
So now he's all alone and he's going to Henderson's to do crime. But
just do a casual little crime.
Twist, Ellie is also at Henderson's.
Bum, bum, bum.
The idea being that they were supposed to be this like evening screening of like somebody's film or whatever, but it's Henderson, and so like there wasn't a screening. And so he offers her some like watermelon juice or something, and he gets himself a drink, but before he gives it to her, he gives it just a little bit of a spike,
just an amuse-bouche of a roofie,
just a little a roofie, you know,
a little bit, nothing to cry home to mama about,
and
just a little.
And this is when things get, like, really buck wild.
Like, because instantaneously.
Because Joseph comes out of nowhere and decides that he's also going to spike the drinks. And fucking spikes Henderson's with, like, a much higher dose. And so...
of course.
Ellie ends up just like, I don't know, like napping on the couch, I guess. Nothing that seems like dangerous, I guess. Right. Whereas when Henderson wakes up, he is like in the secret room and is like tied to a chair.
Yeah, and blindfolded.
Yeah, like the whole
and Joe's
thing.
Just like screaming at him. The second he wakes up, he's just yelling.
Apparently not loud enough, or maybe the secret room is just like soundproofed enough that Ellie can't hear.
Right.
But he is just like football yelling.
Just like running around, just like yelling.
Like,
because this is his crusade.
Drum.
He's like, this is a crime that I'm gonna solve. Because Ellie's my child now, and I have to,
This is my daughter, sir.
This is my kid. You see this kid? This is my kid. I took this kid. It's my kid.
This is my ward. I don't understand.
I have to fight this fight that I intentionally fucked up so bad. But yeah, so he's just like yelling and screaming, and then he takes off Henderson's blindfold, and meanwhile he has like a Henderson mask on his face. it's like a flat, just one of those little flat eyeless, like cardboard cutout masks that people make of other people, but it's of Henderson. So he's just like looking straight at his own goddamn face, and it's so awful. And also, he abandons that so quickly.
Oh yeah,
he has this whole guise of like, you're not gonna know who I am, dude. Whatever. But the second he's like, I can get some sort of glory out of this by telling you I told you so or whatever, or like, making you confess to your crimes, he's just like immediately rips it off. It's like, it's me from that party that we hung out at that one time.
Yeah, and Henderson's like, wait, what the fuck? I just met you like a couple days ago.
Right.
Who are you?
Weirdo.
You were with 40 who made a scene at my house. What the fuck are you doing here? This was so weird. And the show writers must have been like, holy shit, we're gonna make this like super symbolic. We're gonna make Joseph wear a mask of Henderson. And then Henderson's gonna say, we're the same. While Joe's like gonna yell and scream and be like, no, we're not the same.
I've never seen quite a reach like this in my days. As audacious and ridiculous as this. They are trying so hard out of like fragments of any plot or anything that would lead to something like this at all. Nothing has been leading to this. And they're just like, oh, Henderson's had a bad childhood, So that's why he's taking photos of underage girls, obviously, because he had a fucking parents that hated him and hit him and all this shit. And it's like, I'm just like you, bucko. It's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we doing right now?
I had no sympathy for this man.
No.
Who is this man?
At both turns, they are, sorry to this man. I don't know. Sorry to these men. I don't know. But, like, they are trying so hard with their fucking half-ass little flashback fucking sentimental bullshit that's just like, don't you get it? Don't you see?
I don't see.
You see?
I can't
They're
read.
so
Sorry.
similar. I can't read. I can't see. I don't know. Because none of this is adding up. It's just like, oh, I'm going to reveal some past trauma, and that's why you are a really bad dude. Like, objectively bad, criminally and legally bad. Don't you get it? No. Fuck you.
I don't care, Henderson, that you have one ball. You're just a bad dude.
Yeah. Listen, if his fucking villain origin story was that he was just really self-conscious about having one ball, I would be down with that. Yeah. I would ride that shit out.
Yeah, you didn't need to, like, be this kind of an asshole and like take photos of women and like drug them. You could just, I mean, there's a lot of other villains that have just been insecure about their masculinity. That would have been enough.
Yeah, really, you're good there. That's it. That's all you need.
There have been more villains with a lot less, truly.
Right. You know how many people are just like living their lives, not doing crimes, and have had trauma? Talk to two people on this podcast.
Hello. Yeah, hi.
Just, like, living our lives. People are out. Everyone's out here living their lives, not doing crimes and murders.
Yeah.
And still had bad shit.
Right.
So, I'm not really gonna believe your little fucking aha moment. That's just like, oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Fuck you. Yeah, fuck off.
Anyways, so Joe obviously had to kill this man.
Right. He knew too much.
He knew too much, and, like, as soon as Joe... I knew Joe was gonna kill this man anyways, but then he took off his mask, and I was like, oh, okay, so, like, he is gonna die.
Yeah.
But I did not expect the way that Henderson died.
Yeah.
So,
like a fucking Roomba.
Yes! So, like, Henderson tries to escape, and there's, like, a little bit of a tussle, and then he falls down these stairs, like, cracks his head open or something, and then dies in, like, his own blood.
Right.
So Joe's
Very
like,
punk
well...
rock.
It was super punk rock. Really great. So Joe spends this time, and he's, like, trying to come up with a story about how he can get out of this. Of, like, all right, so Henderson, like, attempted suicide, and then he was like, all right, never mind. And then as he was trying to do that, he, like, fell down the stairs. However, as he was trying to, like, clean stuff up, because I think he, like, goes up the stairs, grabs stuff to clean up, and then comes back down, and the fucking Roomba is already trying to clean stuff up and is just moving all of the blood everywhere. And that's when things get, like, real fucked up. And this is why Joseph is so bad at crime.
Yeah.
He's so bad. And so he's trying to, like, clean stuff up and be super careful. And I think there was something in the blood. Did he, like, drop his phone in the blood or something? There was something that he dropped that I was like, Jesus, I got so angry about it.
Yeah, he's leaving prints all over the place.
Yeah. But he grabs some stuff. He, like, grabs headphones, and something else. Anyways, he grabs some stuff, and makes sure that, like, Ellie is good, and all the, like, Ellie's fine. Anyways, he goes back to the storage locker, makes sure that he is, like, fine, and so far he's only done 2 murders, 4 episodes, so, like, we're doing okay.
Pretty okay
there.
track record.
And then it, like, cuts back to... Did we meet the cop in this?
I think so. I think this is the first time we saw him.
Because he had his, like, garbage bag.
Yes.
With the cop. Because he gives him the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was like, oh, okay, so you just, like, gave him the fucking evidence, which is awkward.
Interesting.
Definitely won't come back to bite you in the ass. And then at the end, it goes back to Austin. 40 is, like, with Love. We find out that there's this, like, total hottie with a body that he has met. And it's fucking, of course, it's Candace.
What a fucking reveal. I hooted and hollered.
I was so excited about this.
I'm so ready for this bitch to destroy his life.
Yeah, so she's
directly
pretending to be Amy, a woman named Amy. And I cannot wait to see where this goes.
Oh my god. Because they have to hang out all the time. Because 40 doesn't have boundaries.
Of course, yeah, and he loves Joseph, so...
And fucking Candace is just gonna take the piss out of Joe forever.
I cannot wait.
Oh god, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see where this goes from here. So, next week, we are on to You, episode 5. And I'm curious to see where it goes from here. I forgot to pull a link for our patrons. So, should we go to a good old Reductress?
Ooh, of course.
Okay. A shout out to our newest patron, Rebecca Cullen.
Ooh.
Who's going to be from Reductress, Why I Stopped Online Dating and Started Fingering My Own Ass.
Yeah. If in an alternate universe, that would be Anastasia Steele.
Honestly, I
she
agree.
Would deserve it. Shout out to Elizabeth Swan.
Damn.
Who's gonna be how to root for yourself like white people rooting for Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt.
Oh my god.
So good.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. A shout out to Amy Taylor,
Yeah.
who's going to be this very specific Twilight one of how to sage your vagina after Tyler's negative energy dick.
Oh my god. Fantastic. Shout out to Mulch Gray.
Pew pew pew.
Pew, 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 pew. Who's gonna be? Is this cat chunky, chonky, or very, very sick?
I like that they separated the letters of chonky.
Yeah, chonky.
All right. Shout out to Rebecca Steele,
Yeah.
who's gonna be, rich friend is picking the restaurant.
Shout out to Kelly Beth,
Pew pew.
who's gonna be vagina also participating in Dry January, apparently.
Shout out to Janae Jasper,
Woo woo woo!
our official intern.
Yeah. We actually hired her.
We actually hired her to do work, which we will talk about after this.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be how to get the thick, possibly cursed eyelashes of a vintage baby doll.
Oh, so good. Shout out to Sophia Salinger.
Pew, pew, pew.
Who's gonna be... I was denied treatment because our healthcare system is broken, and also my nurse was filming a TikTok.
Oh, God. My actual worst nightmare.
There's so many nurses on TikTok. It's alarming.
And I went to high school with all of them.
Oh my god.
It's so scary. I don't know how that happened. All right. Shout out to Erin Salinger, who's gonna be daytime makeup looks that'll dunk on everyone at this Marshall's.
Nice. Hell yeah. Am I at Taylor?
Yes.
Shout out to Taylor Brown Town Lautner,
Pew, pew, pew.
who's gonna be how to make your thin hair look thicker by wearing the $6 Elvis wig from Party City.
Oh my god. The picture on
It's,
this one.
yeah, no, I'm very familiar with this wig.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. And last but certainly not least, shout out to Katie Weber,
Woo woo woo!
who's gonna be how to snag a man when you have a chesty cough like a mastiff's bark.
Oh my gosh.
Which really resonates with me right now.
Yeah, it's a big mood.
Can you tag yourself on a Reductress article, please and thank
Ooh, yes. 4 cute decorating tips to brighten up the space you use as a living garbage can.
That's great.
That's just like when the January depression hits. That's the mood.
Yeah. There's so many this time. I'm debating between two, but I think I'm gonna go with relaxing tea blends for when you need to shit. I think that one really speaks to me.
Yeah.
The honorable mention was breaking. You cry when you see babies now? But that was kind of always me, so.
Yeah.
Okay, the last thing before we get into Fanfic Corner. Can you update folks on why we are paying Janae Jasper now?
We are paying Janae to do our transcripts. We are getting the ball rolling. 2020, let's fucking go, dudes. So by the time you hear this, we will have a few done already available to read for like accessibility reasons, or if you just want to like, I don't know, read the words that we said 3 years ago. That's fun, I guess. But yeah, that's something we're going to be rolling out pretty consistently, and that is because of your generous support to our Patreons.
the money that we are using this year directly and like throughout the past couple of years is directly going to funding our transcript backlogs, and also will eventually be going to our current ones as well. And that was our goal for this year, and like immediately was able to get the ball rolling on that, which is super exciting. That is something that we've wanted to do for years now, and we finally have the funds to be able to not only just like do an episode but do it sustainably, which was like our goal, was not just to like do one and then stop, but like be able to do it for a longer term, and it's exciting to be able to have those finally for like years long backlog, which is awesome. So it's like a relief, I would say, because we just talk so fucking much, you know. It's good. It makes me happy. All right. So I have our fan fiction for this week.
Hell yeah.
This one it's an oldie I'm bringing to the space. This is from fanfiction.net. It is by the author Len Hawk. The title is I Dreamt of Her. And it was published on December 8th of 2012. Which I know is hard for me to believe as well, but that was 8 years ago.
Stop. Hey, stop.
Which means that as of this June, I will have graduated high school 8 years ago. Which makes you want to die. Alright, so the summary of this is a painter helps a beautiful Twilight actress, Kristen Stewart, in the city. She is thanked generously for her actions. The ship is a femme OC and Kristen Stewart. And here we go. I will say before I start reading that the author has decided that instead of cafe, they are spelling it as CA apostrophe FE. So it's cafe. Cafe. And so I will be reading it as such because I think that is delightful and also beautiful. All right.
Fantastic.
A warm day in the city, I was heading to the usual place, a small cafe on the corner of Bork Street. I normally enjoy going to that cafe to look for inspiration while on my break. I have a job on the city streets. I create giant murals on the concrete, usually colorful, depending on the area, but in my downtime I like sitting in the park and sketching the sights, whether it be people or scenery. It's very relaxing and nobody seems to have a problem with it. Right now my mind was on one thing, a warm drink and a soft chair to sit in. Entering the cafe, I got a humble greeting from Alyssa. She worked at the counter, nice girl. I ordered the usual and melted into the comfortable chair and closed my sore eyes in the corner. Away from everyone's eyes, I enjoyed the solitude. I opened my eyes when I heard a small commotion going into the small cafe. Everyone was running to the window and screaming. I walked outside, and people from all over were pouring in. What the hell is going on? I asked the man left of me. Oh my God, it's Kristen Stewart. She's here, he replied, in an overly excited manner. I had no idea who she was, but I pushed him out of the way to get a look. I saw her in the middle of the huge crowd with a very stressed expression on her face. I could tell easily that she didn't like being swarmed by people. Who would? I made my way through the screaming crowd to her. Once I got to her, I grabbed her hand and led her through the swarm of bloodsuckers. Once we got outside the mass of people, she turned to me. Hey, thanks, man. I owe you one. She jogged off to her ride and drove off. I felt a rough push on my back, a woman with a pissed-off look staring down at me. What you gotta do that for? Now she's gone. I shot her a similar look and replied, how would you like being crushed by a crowd of psychotic fans? I did her a favor. I pushed past her back into the cafe, gathered my things, and walked home. When I got home, I threw my bag on the floor, took off my pants and shoes, flopped down on the bed, and just crashed. I was so tired. I dreamt of her. End scene.
Okay.
And that is where I will leave it, but I will say that this person keeps dreaming of her. And then something wild happens.
Whoa.
I know.
Okay.
Yep. So, lots of wild dreams in store for this one.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, as we say in Seattle,
get bit
and get whipped.
Ooh.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.